Good morning, Year 5. Mr. Judge here. Today we're going to be looking at converting remainders into decimals. When we are dividing, of course. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to look at this division sentence and I'm going to calculate it and I'm going to receive my remainder at the end of it. So, first of all, as we always do, we're going to calculate how many 5s go into 1. We can't do that, so we'd have to put a 0 there. Next of all, we look at how many 5s go into 18. Right, using my knowledge of the 5 times tables, I know that 3 times 5 is 15. We have 18, so 3 times 5 is 15, and we have a remainder of 3. Next of all, we have to have a look at how many 5s go into 36. So using my knowledge again of the 5 times tables, I know that 7 times 5 equals 35. We are desperately close to 36. We have a remainder of 1. So if I was just to leave it like that, the actual answer to this division sentence is 37 remainder 1. However, I am converting now that remainder into a decimal. So there's two things that I need to do first of all. At the top of the number sentence, I need to just simply put a decimal point. And then just below it, this number, I put a decimal point and I put a 0. You'll find out why later on. Right, so what I need to do now is I need to bring that 1 down, that remainder 1, and put it just before the 0 and after the decimal point. Okay? Right, now this is our final step. We need to calculate how many 5s go into that 10 now. So using my knowledge again of the 5 times tables, I know that 2 times 5 equals 10. So 2 5s go into that 10. So I can get rid of that remainder at the top here. And it's going to be, because 2 5s go into that 10, it's going to be 37.2 as my final answer. Right. If you're with me, we're going to continue on to the next question. If you would like as well, you can go back to the beginning of that and explore the steps and just familiarise yourself with the steps towards converting the remainder into a decimal. Right, on to the next one. Right, on to question number 2. 197 divided by a. Just like we did before, we're going to calculate this like we usually would in any short division question we might get. So we'll start off first with looking at how many 8s go into 1. Right, again, 0. Then we look at how many 8s go into 19. Using my knowledge of the 8 times tables, I know that 2 times 8 is 16 and 3 times 8 is 24, which is too much. So I'm going to use the one that's 2 times 8 equals 16 with a remainder of 3. Then I look at how many 8s go into 37. I know already that 5 times 8 is 40, but that's a bit too much. So I go 1 back. I go that 4 times 8 equals 32. So 4 lots of 8 is 32. To get to 37, there's 5 more, so a remainder of 5. The answer is 24, remainder 5. Right. As I did before, I'm going to put my decimal points and my zeros there. It might get a little bit small because I'm running out of space. Okay, so remember my remainder is 5. I put it just before the 0, just after the decimal point. So how many 8s go into 50? I know that 6 times 8 is 48, and that's really close. Yeah? So I'm going to put 6 with a remainder of 2. And remember, I'm putting the 0 there. Doesn't make any difference to the value whatsoever. So, how many 8s now go into 20? 2. 8, 16, 24 is a little bit too much. So 8, 16, 2 times with a remainder of 4. Oh, I'm noticing something here now. How many 8s go into 40? Nice and easy. 5. No remainders now. So my final answer, get rid of the remainder, 24.625. Brilliant. If you got that one correct, you pause the video and you got that one correct, well done you. Give yourself a pat on the back. We're going to move on to the third and final question that we go through together. A bit of a trickier one, so watch this space. Okay, third and final question, a bit of a trickier one. I've made it a bit smaller because I need to fit a larger decimal in here. So, what we're working out is 101 divided by 7. As we usually do, we're going to calculate it first, get our remainder, and then convert it. Alright, so, how many 7s go into 1? 0. Now, how many 7s go into 10? Okay, nice and easy. 1 7 with a remainder of 3. Lovely. Now, how many 7s go into 31? Let's use our 7 times tables. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. 35 is too big, so you go back down to 28. So we've got 4 7s, 28, with a remainder of 3. So, my answer, 14, remainder 3. So now we're going to convert that remainder 3 into a decimal. And like we have before, we're going to put our 2 decimals, one above, one below, and the 0 below as well. Then, I bring that 3 down, as I usually do. I bring that 3 down, and I bring it just before my 0, just after my decimal point. Okay, so how many 7s go into 30? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Too much. Go back to 28. 4, remainder 2. Remember that 2 goes back down, and we add a 0 there. The next step. How many 7s go into 20? 7, 14, 21. Too much. 7, 14, 1, 2. With a remainder of 6. Okay. How many 7s go into 60? A bit of a trickier one now. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, too much, 56, so 8 lots of 7, okay, with a remainder of 4. How many 7s go into 40? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 5. With a remainder of 5. How many 7s go into 50? Right, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. 7. Remainder 1. I'd actually like you to finish that one off. I've run out of space on my board, so if I stopped there, this is what my decimal would be. Currently, 14.42857. Please continue that one, because it's going to be a much bigger decimal than that. There will be some repetition though, so when it starts to repeat, that's when you stop. I'm going to give you, to finish off, 3 questions that you're going to be doing yourselves independently and sending me the answers to on Class Dojo. Okay, question number 1, 97 divided by 5. Question number 2, 987 divided by 8. And the last question, 892 divided by 7. If you want, you can pause the video. There's your 3 questions that you're going to be getting on with. I want you to, just like we did, convert the remainder that you get into a decimal and get the answers to me as soon as possible. Like yesterday, let's say the first 5 now that get me the answers to those questions are going to receive dojos. I hope you found this very useful. It's taken a lot longer than I expected today. So many different takes I had to take. See you very, very soon. Take care.